The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
No, just we were saying this is America, right? Every day it's either a plane crash, school shooting, you name it. This is the world we live in.
Yeah, I mean, last night we got to see the U.S. national anthem booed at the Toronto Raptors game.
Yeah.
And Tesla stocks are not doing great, but boy, Nazi salutes are way up in America, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'd look. At this point, I'm ready to say sometimes you just have to let the Nazis eat the paste. We're just going to have to let a lot of Nazis eat a lot of paste. We can't help them. We can't help the other kids they force to eat paste. There's going to be a lot of paste eating by Nazis who should have listened to us when we said, don't eat that.
I sometimes I save just headlines just for you. Hate group says the Bible says foreign aid is wrong. Now... They write, Scripture clearly commands believers to love their neighbors as themselves. However, this command to individuals does not apply in the same way to government. John.
Yeah.
Speak Bible
it's
to
all
me.
Made up.
Speak
it's
Bible.
All lie. The Bible doesn't say that. It's completely made up. The Bible doesn't say that.
Isn't that the opposite of, well, okay, I'm just asking.
Yes, the Bible commands you. If you are fighting to reduce foreign aid, you hate Jesus. It's really simple. Jesus pretty much tells you to give everything you own to the needy. And that's the only way to be a good person. No one lives up to that. But if you're fighting for the opposite of it, yeah, you don't get to claim that anymore. I mean, there's nothing these guys are fighting for that's of Jesus. But at this point, Jeffrey, there's nothing they're fighting for that's of America. I mean, these guys are just crappy, messy mobsters that are trying to do routines that worked in the 1940s on Ukraine.
And everywhere you look, John, it's just meanness, bullying. You said it's not the anti-Christian bias, it's the anti-Jesus Christians. That's the problem. I mean, everything, I don't speak Bible like you do. That's their
creed. That's their creed. Their creed is power. Look, here's the deal. The whole deal with this character of Jesus is you have to be humble. The whole Sermon on the Mount. You know why Republicans never quote the Sermon on the Mount? You know why they never fight to have the Sermon on the Mount put up in classrooms or courtrooms? Because it's all about humility. It's all about service. It's all about looking for another guy, and they hate woke Jesus.
Yeah.
They believe in power. It's what they worship. It's the fundamentalists of all the religions. They believe they speak for God, so they should be in power. Any violence, it's okay if their side does it. It's really easy for atheists to call these people out.
You said if fundamentalists are your racist grandparents, Christian nationalists are those cousins who show up for Thanksgiving dinner wearing camouflage with a cross to tell you how vaccines make you gay. This is, I don't even know where we start. Okay, how about this one? Oklahoma representative introduces bill giving tax credit only to those with natural children. This is how we get to Oberfell. They're just saying it out loud now. Obergefell.
Yes.
What did I say?
Oberfell.
Bless me.
Yeah.
I belched. I apologize. Yeah. Okay. He said the reality is we have to push back on Obergefell. If we wait too long on that ruling to start actually sending things back up and challenging that stance that somehow we have to all get along and say that same-sex marriage is okay, it's going to be too late at some point for us to push back. So really what we want to do is challenge the concept and see if we can get to Obergefell. They're literally saying it out loud now, which is what we always said. When they said, calm down, they're not going to overturn Roe v. Wade, And then they said, but they're not going to come for gay marriage. His
they're
bill
go for Loving versus Virginia. These people, Clarence Thomas has got a way to get out of Ginny House. Yes. That's what's going to happen next.
They're going to find a way to reverse Loving versus Virginia.
It offers a child tax credit only to married couples with natural children. Well, this is going to let out a lot of straight couples too, right?
What do unnatural children look like? Just so I know, I've never met an unnatural child.
Yeah,
right. Oh, he last appeared in this space for an anti-transgender bill that cited a millstone Bible verse that calls for drowning those who lead young people astray.
Yeah, that's taken out of context as well. That's Jesus. That's every Bible. Jesus has a line where he says, anybody that would cause these little ones to stumble in following me, it would be better if they had a millstone tied around them and thrown into the ocean. And they have twisted this for years to say that it's Jesus being anti-trans, anti-abortion. In reality, these people don't want children following Jesus, which is why they never post Jesus' quotes anywhere. They're all liars. They believe nothing. My book comes out August 19th.
Yeah, so speaking of the trans issue, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Service took action to support Trump's executive orders defending women and children and restoring the concept of biological truth in federal government.
What?
It basically is saying transgender people don't exist. The administration.
Oh.
Bobby Kennedy. He said
Bobby Kennedy, who used to believe in climate science. Tell me.
This administration is bringing back common sense and restoring biological truth to the federal government.
I'm here to tell you how to be healthy.
So that's just magically erasing transgender people. They don't exist. Okay.
But Steph, let me ask you a question, Ms. Miller.
Yes.
How are you holding it together? How are you?
I'm telling you,
every night I talk about this with
John,
my listeners.
it's people like you that hold me up. I was saying that, I love that Allison Gill just said congratulations to Midas Touch for, replacing Joe Rogan as the top podcast in the country this week. I said, congratulations to them. I promote you all the time, and Dino Badalla and Michelangelo. And you know what I mean? I think, to me, you're all holding me up. And sometimes I call a lot of my friends and friends of the show, because like you say, John, we all fall down sometimes and we all get scared and I loved your Eleanor Roosevelt quote this week. You said you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You're able to say to yourself, I lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. We're all afraid. It's not about not being afraid. It's about what you do with that, right?
That's right. And our grandparents had to live through a decade with World War II and the Holocaust and the atom bomb, and our ancestors had to live through a terrible civil war that took away 500,000 lives. They were not suited for this. We have to live through this time. And I keep thinking how 200 years ago, the most exciting thing to happen to the human brain would be if you got a piece of mail once a month. Like, we're not designed to handle all the what the F's that are being thrown at us. We don't know how to process all this negative information. We're just not built for it as Homo sapiens. It's psyching a lot of people out.
Yeah.
I tell everyone, if you're feeling overwhelmed, find someone else who's feeling overwhelmed and be strong for them.
No, I listen to all of your show, to all of the show. I go on social media. This one, someone just posted. There are who is this? Forward Healing
I didn't know
Therapy
you listened
said,
to my show.
yes, there aren't words to describe what's happening in the U.S. anymore. No words, just deep grief and deep, deep rage. So I think everybody's feeling it, John. It's just how you're processing it and what, Belle and I are into White Lotus now. Like, I need distractions.
Yeah.
I understand. I didn't even know you listened to my whole show. That I'm shocked by. I apologize for all the 80s Bob Dylan. It's true, but we have to remember something. America eventually gets around to doing the right thing. But what we've learned so many times in our history is it generally has to get a lot worse in America before it starts to get better.
I love this one.
Have to happen before we move along. I have to believe good will come from this, because that's the only pattern I've seen in this country my whole life.
Yeah.
I grew up in the AIDS crisis. I grew up watching homophobia, and suddenly people's hearts began to change. So I'm always going to believe Americans can become more decent people. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I love this one. Red hat spells hatred. I can't unsee this now. Hat red. Think about it. It's become like the new, white hood or swastika or something.
Oh, it's made in China. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And by the way, the other white hood is internet anonymity. All the racists that used to terrify people wearing Klan hoods now just go on the internet and do it.
Yeah.
This is incredibly racist.
John, you have spread your seed, as it says in the Bible. You have procreated. None of the rest of us have. Nope. But I ask all of our guests.
Brangela did. Go on.
Yeah. No, I ask all our guests, like, how, people that have had kids, like how you're coping with this. Because I was just, we were talking yesterday about the 11-year-old girl that took her own life because she was bullied by classmates threatening to call ICE and have her parents deported. The guy that shot two Palestinian, or two Israeli tourists because he thought they looked Palestinian. Right. I don't know. I forget what, it was in Florida. I can't remember what city.
That's right. Yeah.
But,
and now look what they're doing overseas. Now they're going to try and turn Palestine into a new Trail of Tears, because they really stupidly think the Palestinians are going to give up their homeland. Meanwhile, they're trying this mafia tactic on Ukraine. We have to be able to sell this to our conservative loved ones. If someone broke into your house, killed your kid, rape your wife, burn down the yard, how many rooms of the house are you going to give that invader that they'll start being nice to you? That's what we're discussing right now. And they think Ukrainians are going to lay down their weapons and listen to this bloated American landlord who wears makeup like a tragic old drag queen? Like Ukrainians are not going to stop fighting for themselves, and neither are Palestinians. There's nonviolent solutions to a lot of this.
Yeah.
Getting everything you want's never going to do it. And yeah, it's tragic. I know we're going to get better.
Oh, hey there, it's Stephanie Miller. If you're like me and you love sharp political insight, pointy, you like it pointy and sharp, bold opinions, and a touch of humor to make sense of these crazy times, have I got some fantastic news for you. The Political Voices Network is now on Substack. This is your new go-to for the best in independent media. We're talking about my show streaming daily with episodes on demand, the fearless of journalism of Brian Karem, the brilliant side-splitting satire of John Fugelsang, the unrelenting working class advocacy of Rick Smith, and so much more. Here's the best part. Subscribing is so easy. You can join for free or go to the extra mile. Support these incredible independent voices by signing up for a full subscription starting at just $8. You'll get access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, and a chance to directly fuel fearless, unfiltered media. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to politicalvoicesnetwork.com. Hit that subscribe button and become part of the movement keeping truth alive in an era of corporate media overload. Every subscription helps, especially yours. One more time, that is politicalvoicesnetwork.com. Sign up now. Do it.